The new Chevy Silverado Trail Boss is a pretty damn incredible pickup truck. I thought, seeing this vehicle, off-road wheels and tires, upgrade, suspension that's been lifted, I thought the range is going to be terrible, but it's not. I'm surprised. This thing is actually incredibly good. It is a little expensive though. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Guys, if you want to see some new electric cars, come to the Melbourne EV show. I'll be there on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of June, and I'll put a link in the description to a discount on your tickets. So, the new Chevy Silverado Trail Boss starts at $72,000 US, which, considering what you're getting, it's actually not too bad value. It's got up to 480 miles of range. I don't think you can really complain too much about that. So if you're coming from an internal combustion vehicle, I think you're going to be saying, well, that's 800 kilometers of range. That's a lot. So what's the Trail Boss got that the non-Trail Boss version doesn't have? Well, it has different suspension. So it's got a lift kit, an updated hydraulic rebound control system for off-road driving, and new off-road terrain modes. Here's what Chevy said. Trail Boss has been one of the highest turning trims in our portfolio since we first launched it on the 2019 Silverado. Trail Boss to Silverado EV gives customers an option that builds on our strong truck pedigree, giving high electric range and off-road capability. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty legit looking vehicle to me. I think that I'd be happy with one of these. And I've got to say kudos to General Motors. It comes with a 2-inch lift kit and a 24% increase in ground clearance over the standard Silverado EV. And I thought that'd be a huge penalty in range, and it is a bit of a range penalty, but nowhere near what I thought it would be. A new trim exclusive terrain mode acts almost like a low-speed off-road focused cruise control. It'd be like having a diff lock for navigating steep or uneven surfaces. It also gets sharper four-wheel steering for better response off-road. Chevrolet says that there is a high angle approach front fascia on the Trail Boss, along with 35-inch all-terrain tires, really, really big tires, and unique 18-inch wheels. Red tow hooks and exterior badging to make the trim really stand out. I think this is the first proper off-roading pickup truck. The cabin gets some nice touches as well, and overall, I'm just looking at one of these and thinking, man, if they sold these in Australia, they'd really do extremely well. The Silverado EV Trail Boss delivers similar capability expected with other Chevy Trail Bosses, said Joe Roy, the chief engineer for this actual vehicle. It's an impressive truck that's going to meet the needs of our customers looking to get off trail and still have all the features customers have come to love about the Silverado EV, such as the midgate. And the midgate essentially turns your pickup truck into, instead of having a 6-foot bed, you've got an 8-9-foot bed, which is a really, really probably my favorite feature in a pickup truck, or in fact in any vehicle maybe. So you can get an extended or max battery pack if you want to pay a bit extra. 410 miles of range for the standard version, and the max battery gives you 478 miles of range. I mean, both of those have more range than the Tesla Cybertruck. Pricing seems reasonable as well. $72,000 for the base model. Max battery pack is $88,700. I actually still think that's a pretty good deal. The RST trim is more expensive. For example, it's $89,400. Yeah, I'd personally prefer this in the long-range battery option. Anyway, if you get the extended battery pack, you get 12,500 pound-feet of towing capacity. If you get the extended battery pack, you get 12,500 pounds of towing capacity and 2,100 pounds of payload capacity. That's about 900 kilograms for putting in the back in the tray, and approximately 5,500 kilos towing. So this is a proper truck. I mean, you can really tow heavy loads with this. If you get the max battery pack, you get 725 horsepower, which is 540 kilowatt, way more than any other Silverado, any other internal combustion pickup truck from General Motors. And it also has 1,050 newton meters of torque. That's 775 pound-feet. So just to headline that again, 725 horsepower and 775 pound-feet, 540 kilowatt and 1,050 newton meters. Yeah, I don't see any weaknesses with this vehicle whatsoever, other than the fact that GM has had a bit of a spotty history lately with their Trail Bosses. To be honest, but that's with their engines. They've had a lot of problems with their V8 engines lately, being in recalls. So the electric version is probably a big upgrade for a lot of reasons. Now, Chevy is actually going to get rid of the RST version of the Silverado EV, which means you'll only be able to buy the work truck, the LT, or the Trail Boss. And of course, you get max pack battery version. So really, there's probably 6 different variants of the Silverado. In addition, the Silverado is getting some upgrades like Super Cruise, now integrated with Google Maps. It's sort of like Tesla's autopilot, not full self-driving, kind of like autopilot. And the updated system includes hands-on functionality that helps you keep the vehicle centered in its lane. I don't like this kind of tech, but some people do. And it will adjust to the car ahead. Adjusting to the car ahead, I think, is really good. The lane keeping thing I find a bit frustrating. When you engage Super Cruise on compatible roads, though, a green light on the steering wheel says you can drive hands-free. You take your hands off the steering wheel. That's, roads that are more like highways and freeways where it's relatively simple for the vehicle to steer itself. So here's a list of the prices, guys. The base model, Silverado pickup truck, not the Trail Boss, the base model, has 286 miles of range and it costs $55,000 MSRP. You can probably get a discount on that. This is the work truck, by the way. Now, the extended version of the same vehicle has 424 miles of range and it costs an additional $13,500 at $68,000 US dollars. That does qualify for, I believe, $7,500 EV incentives, meaning you can get it for about $60,000. The max pack version is $76,000 and gives you 493 miles of range. So that's the longest range pickup truck, electric pickup truck, General Motors manufactures, 493 miles. That's, legitimately 800 kilometers of range. Now the LT model, which is the mid-spec grade, 283 miles of range, $63,000. Base model, that's the standard. Then the extended has 410 miles of range and that costs $71,000. The max pack battery version, 478 miles of range and costs $91,300. If you get the Trail Boss, it comes only in 2 versions. It doesn't come with the standard battery pack. It's either the extended battery or the max battery. The extended battery gives you 410 miles of range and the max battery gives you 480 miles of range. I actually think the pricing for these trucks is very reasonable. And, if General Motors fans really knew about these trucks, they knew how good they were, I think they'd sell even more than what they are today. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments. Michael Dunn, the former General Motors executive, is one of the smartest and brightest minds in the global automotive industry. And more people should be listening to what he says, because what has just happened in Mexico is being repeated everywhere else. It's sort of crazy to me that the United States doesn't most people in the United States don't realize what has happened to the Mexican car market. It's been completely transformed. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Michael Dunn says that General Motors have led a parade of Chinese automakers into Mexico. General Motors led a parade of Chinese car makers into Mexico. It doesn't really sound like it makes sense, but actually it does. Here's what he said. I was in Mexico again last week. Chinese cars are pouring into the market faster than you can say, senorita. Imports from China shot up to 485,302 units in 2024. That's 1/3 of all new car sales in Mexico, 1/3.